Heyo, it's Wednesday, July 15th. It's been a long day. I'm tired. I did get a nap in. It's also been way too hot. I feel like I'm living in Florida. I don't like it. This is not Southern California. I need AC. We don't have it. Brutal. After this is done, I'm taking another cold shower. I can't have my tower fan on while I'm doing this, so if I start sweating, deal with it. As I said, Wednesday, July 15th. We're going to recap All-Star Week. We're going to have fun with it. I wanted to preview Friday. We're going to record an episode, put it out on Friday. That one's going to be fun. A lot of people in the baseball sphere are doing their midseason grade type things. And I respect everyone that does baseball content. It's hard. But everyone's doing midseason grades, and they're just grading the MLB team. And I think anyone that knows baseball teams and watches a lot of baseball kind of knows what grades each team should get, right? You take the expectation of what the team should have been going into the year. You take a look at where they're at in the standings and how they've been playing. You do that minus that equals whatever grade you want to give them. So we're going to do a little bit of a twist on it. We're going to do like an organizational stock up, stock down because, and there's going to be a couple caveats with like new regimes in the front office. Like we're going to have to talk about whether we jump before them and then talk about how the grade is after them. Whatever. This is a problem for Friday. But that's what you have to look forward to. Honestly, I'm very excited about that part. The most exciting part about Friday's episode is we're giving you an Odyssey review. I'm not going to dive too deep into it. I won't spoil anything. But I did get tickets to see it in IMAX tomorrow, opening night. Very excited. Not 70 millimeter. I did that for Oppenheimer. It was great. Those sold out in 12 seconds, and I couldn't get any. So, going to see it in IMAX tomorrow. Very excited. Probably going to watch it again Sunday or something or next week. But very excited about that. 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. Awesome. Surely it won't let me down. Probably will. Yeah, that's Friday. Looking forward to that. For this one, we're gonna talk about All-Star Week. We're gonna go kind of chronological order. We're gonna jump Saturday, skip straight to Sunday, and then at the end we'll track back to Saturday because you guys know I love talking me some draft. So we're gonna go straight into Sunday, where the futures game happened. Rounds 5 through 20 of the draft also happened on Sunday, but I'm not going to pretend to know a lot of those names that got drafted. So, yeah, futures game. The guy on the bump to start it for the AL, Cade Anderson, is ridiculous. Mariners prospect, drafted last year out of LSU. Could have been the 1-1. He just gives me so much Max Fried vibes. Big curveball. Spot it wherever he wants it. He's going to be really good. Look at his numbers. Go look at what he's doing in, I believe it's AA. He might have gotten called up to AAA recently. He should be in Seattle by the end of the year. If he's not, that's crazy to me. But yeah, he's just carving it. Like hitters stand no chance when he's on the mound. You got to see a little bit of what Leo DeVries can do for the A's, formerly of the Padres, as we talked about in the last episode, the Mason Miller trade. He didn't do anything crazy. There wasn't anything super loud, but you got to see how he could just produce a run. He got on, he got jammed. He took a couple bases, and then he scored the first run of the game. Seth Hernandez continues to make me look like a genius. No, not a genius. I think anyone with eyes last year could have told you that Seth Hernandez was going to be good out of the draft, but I was very bullish on him. I had him as my number one player. I think anytime you can have that good of a frame and you're throwing 100 with your best pitch being a changeup, I'm like such an advocate for someone with a changeup, especially that young. If you have that good of a feel to throw a changeup, he just looks good everywhere he goes. He looked great in the futures game. And my last note on the futures game is a guy that we haven't seen a lot of since he got drafted last year, but was very exciting in last year's draft, is JoJo Parker, who went to the Blue Jays. Left-handed hitting high school shortstop. He turned on a ball. Miguel Cime Jr. is a pitcher for the Nationals that got drafted last year out of high school, and he's 19, throwing 103. He turned on a ball, 101, on the black inside, and just parked it off the right field wall in Citizens Bank Park. This guy is very Kevin McGonigal-like, where the field to hit is awesome, the swing is awesome, the other tools aren't that loud. He's not going to be some freak athlete, but just the field to hit from the left side of the plate is going to be awesome. That's kind of what I had on the futures game. The futures game, you always get super excited for, and it kind of under-delivers. They got to figure out, they make it 7 innings, and then they want to give everyone a chance to pitch. So then you have guys facing one hitter, and then they take them out, and there's another commercial break, and they face another hitter. So there's some stuff to be tweaked about All-Star Weekend, but for the most part, just awesome. Moving on to Monday, the Home Run Derby. Kind of touching on what we just talked about, the rules were awesome. It was so great to watch balls fly again. The one complaint, and I'm sure if you watched, you saw this, Netflix's camera work was just ridiculous in some places. There was one where it was like kind of a big swing, and at the point of the swing, they had it on 2 ladies. Just in the, I think they were like on the field in the crowd, but they were in the crowd. They weren't swinging, I'll tell you that. The camera work could have used some work. The one maybe other question is, until the last round, the magenta ball, which was the last ball you got of your round, that was actually colored T-Mobile magenta, guys were having trouble seeing. I think Jordan Walker's the only one who hit the magenta ball out. He did it, once before the final round and then like 4 times in the final round. But no one could see the magenta ball. I understand you got to make your sponsors happy, but maybe we just call it the T-Mobile magenta ball and make it a normal white baseball. I don't know. Small gripes. It's an awesome event. We're finally letting guys rip again and not worrying about a timer. Timing wasn't an issue for me. It didn't feel like a slog. So I was just a huge fan of where the Derby's at again. And then the guys they brought were awesome. Even a guy who got booted in the first round, Jack Caglione, was hitting bombs. I mean, he might have killed someone in the 3rd deck in right field. I don't know. He was very impressive. Everyone was fun. Like Ben Rice didn't do anything crazy. I was hoping Munetaka Murakami would do a little bit more. But outside of that, everyone was fun. I can't believe Schwarber lost. Jordan Walker was awesome. If you didn't watch the Home Run Derby, just watch Jordan Walker's last round, because the final round was 15 swings. And Schwarber puts up 11 in front of the home crowd. Bryce Harper, you can read his lips on the TV. He's saying, it's over. And I was right there with him. I thought it was over. I think Jordan Walker had 8 or 9 going into his last swing. And if again you don't know the rules, the last swing you couldn't end on a home run. So if you hit a home run, you got another swing. You got a 16 swing. If you hit a home run, you got a 17 swing. So he needed to rattle off a bunch in a row, and he did. He ends with 12 home runs in the round, walks it off. Philly is stunned. And this is where maybe, not a rant, but like, I love when the hometown team has someone in the Derby. It's awesome. They can rally behind him. Cool. But when you turn the Home Run Derby, which is supposed to be boom, crack, ball flying 500 feet, and everyone just going crazy, into booing someone as they're hitting bombs just because you want your guy to win, that's lame. I don't like it. It's dumb. I mean, they're cheering every time Jordan Walker hit a ground ball. They're booing when he hits bombs. That's the point of the home run derby. And to the Philly people, good people, I'm going to be in Philly next month, so don't kill me. That's just what we do. We boo people. It's the home run. You paid good money to go watch people hit home runs. You didn't pay to see Kyle Schwarber win. You paid to watch people hit home runs. Put the booze away for 2 seconds and just enjoy it. All right, I'm done. Whatever. I understand that's what Philly does. I understand they wanted to watch their guy win. Sucks to suck. That was awesome. The home run derby was awesome. But yeah, just booing is ridiculous. The All-Star game, the one note I have here is, has there been a more brutal week for the host city? Like I just talked about, they just had to watch their hometown hero, Kyle Schwarber, get beaten in dramatic fashion in the home run derby. And then their guy is out there, Christopher Sanchez, and he basically just gives up the game in the first inning. Brutal. Couldn't happen to a nicer city, sorry. But the All-Star game, this one, I'm going to take my loss, because anytime a non-baseball person says baseball is boring, instantly discredited. Also, anytime anyone says a game is boring because it's low scoring, I disagree. The art of a pitcher's duel is awesome. But in the All-Star game setting, where pitchers are being switched every inning, you lose the pitcher's duel feel to it, because it's not two guys doing it against each other. It's just like a rolling roster of pitchers doing it. So in this very rare instance, I will agree and say the All-Star game was kind of boring, sadly. Even then, being able to watch that much talent on the field and you're having the players mic'd up, still fun. But in terms of the game itself, pretty boring. The Miguel Vargas bomb was awesome. Just ran right into his bat path, and that thing went. That looked like one of the home run derby homers. Like, he got into that one. Outside of that, I mean, the MVP got a hit. That was it. He got the MVP because he got a hit. Whatever. Yeah, that was All-Star Week. I just made it sound not as good as it was. It was great. 250th in Philly. The little, I don't know exactly what to call it, but the little baseball is great sandlot type of moment with 5 billion fireworks shooting out of the stadium in the middle of the game was awesome. That was very cool. It was like a Ray Charles baseball tribute. I don't know what to call it, but I liked it. Yeah, All-Star Week, very fun. Let's get to the best part, though. The best part is the draft. I'm just going to kind of talk through drafts, picks, pairings that I like from teams. I don't like doing the whole grade ranking drafts type of thing, because you never know. You're drafting guys that are so young. It's so early in these guys' careers. You never know what team's seeing guys. And guys can just flip a switch, learn a new thing, and they're so much better than you thought. Or something cannot click, and they're not going to be what you thought they could be. So I don't like doing the grades. I know people who make big boards can then kind of line up where the picks went according to where they were ranked and be like, that's a bad pick from my board. All the power to you, but I'm not going to beat down these kids right after they got drafted. This is the best day of their lives. I guess the one thing right off the top that is just embarrassing for baseball, the number one pick, and I know there were some questions leading up to the draft, and we kind of talked about this. The number one pick that was supposed to be the number one pick a year ago, his name got mispronounced by the commissioner of baseball. Rock Chalowski, not its name. It's Rock Chalowski. Yeah, I mean, you're the commissioner of baseball. A guy's supposed to be the number one pick for a year, and you zoo his name. I don't know. It's embarrassing. I am too often embarrassed by baseball. That was bad. But let's get into some picks I like. The A's, their first 2 rounds were awesome. I believe they were at 8, and they just scoop a falling Drew Burress, the outfielder from Georgia Tech. He's undersized, but that's the one problem. I mean, the makeup is awesome. Such a cool dude. And the field of hit is unreal. I mean, he should have been top 5, top 6 pick. He falls to 8. They scoop him up. I had dreams of him falling to 11. It didn't happen. And then they took Mason Edwards at 2. And he was one of the best pitchers in college baseball. Not at 2, with their second pick. He was one of the best pitchers in college baseball. So you grab the guy who was probably maybe the best bat in college baseball, and then you go down and get one of the best pitchers in college baseball. It's very exciting for a team that has a lot of young talent, so those guys should be added to the fold relatively soon. The Cubs, round 1, they get Cade Townsend. Round 2, Caden Sorrell. Round 2C, the compensation round, Miles Bailey. Townsend is a guy that's going to throw a ton of pitches from Ole Miss and has very exciting stuff. Caden Sorrell is a relatively safe outfielder from college with a little upside. Miles Bailey's the pick that he's going to be 3 true outcome. He's going to strike out a lot. Your hopes are that he can walk a lot, because when he touches the ball, that thing goes. I mean, he's a big boy. He's going to be a first baseman or a DH. You don't have dreams of him growing into a quality third baseman or anything like that. Like, he's first base DH. But with the way Wrigley plays and how days, weeks, months, years can be riddled with wind blowing in, blowing out. You never know what it's going to do. Get a guy who can just beat the wind. And that's what Miles Bailey's going to do. Obviously a very high variance prospect with the amount of strikeout, but if he pans out, going to be hitting bombs in Wrigley. Let's go to the South Side. The White Sox. Talked about his last name a couple seconds ago, but Rock Chalowski at 1. Awesome. They couldn't have gone wrong there. With Rock, with Grady Emerson, with Von Lackey, they would have been happy either way. But Rock Chalowski is going to have the chance to debut, probably next year. I mean, in some fantasy world where the White Sox are making a wild card run or they win the division, maybe they push him way too fast and get him up there this year, but I doubt that. He might be ready for opening day next year. So that's awesome. In the first competitive balance round, they got Landon Thome, which last name should sound familiar. Jim Thome, Hall of Famer, played for the White Sox. I think he works for the White Sox in some capacity. Nepotism? No. Landon Thome's great. He's not his dad. I would say Miles Bailey is closer to what his dad was than Landon Thome, but he's a very exciting prospect out of high school. Cole Prosek, also very exciting, high schooler in round 2. And then round 3, Joey Volchko, the University of Georgia guy. If you want to know what he's about, go watch his game against Texas in the College World Series. 15 punch-outs, complete game. I believe it was a shutout. He might have given up 1 run, but just complete dominance against Texas. Getting that in the 3rd round, awesome. Those top 4 picks are just gross. So, yeah, the White Sox, as soon as they traded for the 34th pick, right before the draft last week, you knew they were in for something special, and they just cash in. I mean, whenever you're working with that many picks, that much pool money, you're going to do something good, but I just love what they did. The next one, staying in the AL Central, but we're just going to talk about 1 pick. I love what the Guardians did with their first pick. Liam Peterson, the starting pitcher out of Florida. We talked about him last episode, mock draft episode, and we talked about how Florida hasn't developed pitchers. We've seen this for years now, where guys come out of Florida, underdeveloped. Maybe if Jack Caglione goes somewhere else, we're talking about a two-way guy. Who knows, right? But Liam Peterson's stuff, probably the best in this draft. Maybe second behind Tyler Bremner. Sorry, mixing up my gauchos. What's his... Oh, I'm losing his name. Hold on. This is going to kill me. Jackson Flora. Wow. Just zooed it. I just Manfreded it. Probably second in stuff behind him. And then you get him into a system like the Guardians where they're going to be able to tap into all that stuff. Woo, I love it. The next one, the Rockies. Talk about a sneak peek. Friday's episode, stock up, stock down organizationally. I like what the Rockies are doing. And obviously they have a lot of room to grow as an organization, so they're going to be stock up. I'll spoil that one. Round one, Tyler Bell, a guy I loved, a guy I was very open to the Nationals being on. Just feels like such a high floor as a switch hitter. In the competitive balance round, they go grab Daniel Jackson, Golden Spikes winner, best player in college baseball. We talked about him. He was a 30-30 catcher. Just awesome. I think you're going to see the power dip a little bit because of how small that stadium was. And then also the speed. I don't think he's a 30-30 guy in the MLB, but with good enough defense, he's going to stick at catcher. And then that ceiling to dream on. Awesome. And then round two, you take Logan Redeman, who maybe pushes up to like around the 10 to 15 range if he doesn't get hurt late in UCLA season. He was looking like one of college baseball's best pitchers when he was going, and then he got hurt. The nice thing is you don't have to worry about him being hurt going into your organization because he did pitch at the Combine, like we talked about. But that trio of college players, I'd say Bell and Redeman probably move pretty quick. Jackson, we'll see how he develops, but that's going to be pretty fun to add that to the organization. Redeman also, I like the pitch mix for Coors. If you don't know, Coors is just freaky. Playing at altitude does very weird things to the baseball. Obviously, it's talked about ad nauseum that the ball flies further, so it's fun to hit there. But the real reason it's easier to hit there is because the altitude kills pitches. Like high vert fastballs, those rise balls where guys are swinging a foot under it because it just rises into the zone, those get killed. That vert gets knocked down. The spin on breaking balls gets knocked down, and they're a little bit flatter. So getting a guy who can sink it, very intriguing to me. I'm not going to say I'm in love with this pick, but it's interesting to me. We're going to go to the Angels' first-round pick because this is actually the guy I wanted for the Nationals. I'm perfectly happy with the Nationals' pick. We'll talk about them later. I'm going to talk about my team. Don't worry about it. But they took Jared Grindlinger, 17-year-old, reclassified, was supposed to be in next year's draft, jumped up to this one, and it paid off. He got taken at 12, and probably he's going to make like $5 million. Good for him. But the reason this pick intrigues me, we'll get to that after. I tell you the reason this pick worries me. They don't develop people that well. They haven't for a minute now. And that's why you've seen so many picks from the Angels be these fast-moving college guys. We're drafting Ryan Johnson, and he's playing in the major leagues before he plays in the minor leagues. Obviously the most extreme example, but Christian Moore gets drafted, playing the next year. Nolan Shonowell, drafted, playing the same year. It's been very much a lot of the same for the Angels. It's been drafting college-ready guys and pushing them as fast as they can through the minor leagues. This is a change, right? It's a drastic change. He's a 17-year-old. You're not going to see him this year. You're not going to see him next year. You're probably not going to see him the year after that. This is going to take some development, which on one side is exciting. They're doing something different, which the Angels have to do. On another side, unless something changes on the development side of things, good luck, man. I mean, I have a lot of confidence in the kid, and the tools are awesome, but I don't know. I'm worried for him, man. We'll see. The good thing is he has a lot of time. The bad thing is the track record is against him. So we'll see. It just very much intrigues me that they zigged or zagged, whichever one it is, that hard. Just going from very ready college guys to the youngest player in the draft, or the second youngest player in the draft. I think Rocco Maniscalco was the youngest. Very intriguing. Staying in L.A., Anaheim, whatever. The Dodgers, they're the Eagles of the MLB. And before you go, oh, they're better than the Eagles, I'm just saying that, like, they're taking advantage of things that shouldn't exist. Like, why are the Red Sox trading Mookie Betts 2 years after he won an MVP, and they take advantage of it, right? Like, why were the Tennessee Titans trading A.J. Brown? Boom, the Eagles are on it. Why is Jordan Davis falling in the draft? Boom, the Eagles draft him. Why was Bo Lawrence falling in the draft on Saturday? Boom, pick 40, Dodgers take him. They got this kid that just shouldn't have been there at 40. Very high upside lefty bat from in high school. And he's probably going to turn out to be a stud because that's what they do. Staying in the NL West, the Giants. Whew, they got a fun duo. First pick, fourth overall, Jackson Flora. We lost his name and then mentioned him earlier. Awesome. He could be there quick. I think we might see maybe the development of another fastball, something that runs arm side, and then maybe tinkering with his breaking ball. But outside of that, the changeup's awesome. The fastball explodes. He should be a pretty quick mover. And then in the second round, or I believe it was just their second pick, they might have had another. I have it down as second round, and I did my research, so I think I'm right. Carson Bollman, he's awesome. I mean, he might have the best breaking ball in the draft, maybe. Left-handed high school pitcher. It's not Kershaw. It's not that vertical, but it just moves so much. Maybe like Rich Hill-y shape. Just the big breaker, snaps it off hard. That duo is awesome. I know they're going to be on very different timelines, being college quick-moving guy and high school. You hate to say it, but he probably does well for a year or two, has a surgery, does well for another year or two, and then debuts. That seems to be how high school arms flow nowadays. It's a shame, but that's what they're doing. The next one, maybe the most fun draft, St. Louis. Another spoiler, stock up on the org. First round, Trevor Condon. There was so much talk about this guy being like PCA-like. I think there might be. You don't want to say there might be more in there when PCA has been playing at an MVP level. But at least at this point in their career, he's a more exciting prospect than PCA was, in my opinion. PCA had like a raw power ceiling, but the bat wasn't as exciting as Condon's is right now. The defense was always special. The arm was always special. He was always fast. But Condon has those things too. So Condon is awesome. The competitive balance round, they take Tegan Kuntz. Should move relatively quick. Tennessee right-hander, exciting. The second round, they take Rocco Maniscalco. Mentioned him earlier, the youngest player in the draft. If you want to be freaked out at a 17-year-old's arm, go watch him take grounders at the draft combine in Arizona a couple weeks ago. Has a rocket attached to his right arm. That's the exciting thing here. He's a switch-hitting 17-year-old who's already a plus fielder with a rocket ship attached to his right arm. So he's going to stick it short. He's going to play good defense. He's going to switch hit. Relatively decent speed. He's not going to blaze. But if you get anything of a valuable bat, this is a quality player. And if the bat shines, you're talking about a special player. And he's only 17. And that was your third pick. So very exciting class. I also have Caden Ferraro mentioned because he was a highly ranked guy that they got in the third round. The next one's just a sick pairing. The Rays. It also helps when you're talking about a team that you trust to develop these guys. But Grady Emerson, obviously, like I said with the White Sox, you weren't going to go wrong with him or Von Lackey. You were going to be excited. But putting him on the same path as Taj Marchand that they took in the competitive balance round is awesome. I mean, that's going to be a middle infield or a left side of the infield duo that is very exciting at a level of minor league ball. I'd assume Grady Emerson moves a little quicker with that bat and they get separated at some point, but they will be together and it will be very exciting for Rays fans. The Rangers, this is taking a hack. This is a home run derby swing here. The first round, you got Gio Rojas, who, as we've talked about, out of Stoneman Douglas, powerhouse high school. He's probably got the best stuff out of any of the high school pitchers. If not, maybe the best stuff was their third round pick. I thought maybe Brody Bumila would just go undrafted because he had something come up like 2 weeks ago where it's like, hey, he's probably going to have another elbow surgery, and he's already had one. So I thought teams were just going to say, we're going to keep our hands clean and let him go to college. The Rangers took their shot. I mean, if these guys work out, these are two high upside lefties. If you don't know about Brody Bumila, this is a 6'8" high school lefty that's throwing, he's touching 103. Whew. I have here that you're going to have to wait probably a year and a half, 2 years on Bumila. So they're not going to be on the same timeline by any means. But the upside there is just unreal. The Blue Jays, I just have this as a pick I love. Will Brick, they had very limited picks, and going and getting Will Brick in the fourth, having the money to do it, very exciting. He was a guy I could have seen getting first round hype and getting pushed up to the first round if a team really liked him. They go snag him in the fourth round. That's awesome. And then the last draft we have to talk about is mine. The Nationals. The first round, you take Chris Hacopian. I mean, obviously you have that first tier with Rock and Von Lackey in terms of college hitters. Outside of those two, and even in the same vein as those two, Hacopian might be the safest and also most exciting bat in this draft, college bat in this draft at least. It's so good. He was playing through a broken leg this year and just gutted it out. Tells you about the competitor. That's awesome. They've had a ton of content come out about him. He's been a Nationals fan his whole life, which is awesome. Yeah, I'm very excited. He's going to be kind of a floater and not the biggest positive defensively, but he's going to play second and third. Paul Taboni came out and already said that. So, yeah, I'm excited. The other one I want to highlight, there are more exciting players, but the one I want to highlight is Luke Williams in the third round. This kid, first of all, the picture they used for him on the draft, someone's got to find a better picture. He looked 12 years old. I was like, whoa. But he reminds me a lot of a guy the Nationals took a couple years ago named Luke Dickerson. They're both like Northeast kind of hidden guys playing against way worse competitions, but the tools are just so loud that scouts were like, yeah, I'm going to take a chance on that. They paired two safer college bats. They took Chase Brunson in the second, who's a very exciting outfielder from TCU. The swing plays. Very, very fun to watch. But the fact that they paired two guys at the top that feel pretty safe in Brunson and Hacopian, and then they win out in the third round and grab Luke Williams. Anytime you got a guy who's getting 270 grades, especially in terms of the athletics, It's exciting. He's a 70 run and a 70 arm. Got a rocket attached, and he can fly, is the translation there. He's going to take a while. I mean, he's an underdeveloped Northeast kid. It's a very stereotypical draft profile, but it's very exciting. There's some other exciting arms. One of the things I did want to say about the draft is if you're looking at your team's draft or any team's draft and you go, whoa, wait. In the 16th round with pick 1,072,000, we got the 92nd ranked player. Those are insurance picks. I just wanted to explain this real quick because I believe I haven't talked about this before. This is the one thing I might have missed in my what to know about the MLB draft video. These are called insurance picks. Basically, anytime you're taking a high schooler, especially a high schooler, but really anyone within the first 4 to 5 rounds, you're banking on them signing. Now, what's the most common reason you would need an insurance pick is because a high schooler says, hey, I want more money. You don't have that money in your bonus pool, and you go, hey, man, this is all we got. And they go, okay, I'm going to go to college. And with NIL, that's more prevalent now. It still doesn't happen a ton, but it's more prevalent. So what teams will do is in the 16th to 20th rounds, they'll get guys who have told teams like, hey, we're leaning towards going to college. Like, don't bother wasting a pick on us, basically. They'll take guys like that in case they can't sign their second round pick or first round pick. And then if their first round pick they don't sign, the slot value for that pick then becomes available, and you call that guy you took in the 16th round and you go, hey, man, I know you said you want to go to college. How does $7 million sound, right? Or whatever the number is. But that's why if you're looking at your team's draft and you go, whoa, we got the steal of the draft. This guy's ranked 50th. We got him in the 17th round. That's why. He's not going to sign unless something happens for a more exciting player not to sign, which you don't want. So as exciting as those picks are and you dream on what if we could sign everyone in the class, it's not going to happen. And if it does happen, it's because something worse fell through ahead of him. So don't get too excited about those. Outside of that, I know I kind of bagged on some things because there was stuff to be bagged on, but All-Star Week, huge success. So much fun. We got a couple days off. Friday, baseball's back. The podcast is back on Friday. As we talked about before, we're talking Christopher Nolan, The Odyssey, and we're talking organizational stock up, stock down. I'll have baseball playing. It'll be the weekend at that point. We're going to be flying on Friday. That's it. If you got this far, I love you. Thanks for listening. I don't know. Go look at your team's draft and go dream on the high schooler that got taken in the 17th round and know it's not going to happen. And have a great Wednesday. Have a great Thursday. And I'll see you on Friday.